Here's another journal entry that I'm doing, and I'm going to be talking about road hazards. And it's one of the things I learned. This is going to be a journal entry. I thought I was going to do a journal podcast. I might. It might evolve into something else. I finally learned that doing audio journals is like the most basic way. I thought, I actually don't have an opinion on this. I used to think did I even have an opinion on this at all? Apparently, I don't think I did. I think the easiest model I found to start doing media and podcasting is starting to just do audio logs of your journal, right? Small scale testing. I want to see how long this lasts. I don't know. I might not even do a voice recording. I might just record a sound ambience of car sounds of me driving. Yeah, it's hot right now. It's hot and sunny, and the windows are just really sunny. That's how I'm going to do it. I may, every once in a while, I might do a supply chain podcast. So here's one that's interesting. Apparently, ICQA is something that's done. Actually, it's a supply chain thing. I never actually thought over at Amazon we were, I might as well be honest, wasting time. Like a lot of the ICQA shit that I saw over for Amazon. Okay, let me apologize. We're not allowed to use the S word. Right, you're banned for drinking water. You're banned for a bug too. You know, sometimes you see a locust that lands on some chick's face. That's bannable. I gotta be really careful these days because I got banned for like Holocaust vid about my Philosopher's Stone theory, and I haven't really been happy about it since. Still have bitter feelings. Every once in a while, I have daydreams of flipping Sundir the finger. Yeah, I know, I'm guilty. Yeah, I'm not mature. Yeah, I should be grateful. It's free for everyone to use. And I understand that, and I'm grateful for it. But I feel like I need to get this feeling of hatred out. Yeah, that's just what it is. I don't know what else are you supposed to say. I personally think this all could have been done by high school, and you just have the government fund with the ICANN organization after the Cold War. But, you know, we live in America where we all need to look pretty. I mean, you could have went ugly, right? Isn't ugly the first form of beautiful? Right, the first form of beautiful, first easy way of testing beautiful before it becomes actually beautiful, right? I thought we all understood that. You know, back in the day, before we made a Prada bag, we made an ugly bag. We used to all understand this. I mean, I could go and point fingers at the Star Station, but it's still what it is. Like, we were pretty independent from them, from Europe, for like up until World War II. Through China. They made some weird deal with China no one wants to talk about anymore. With Franklin Delano Roosevelt. See, I have mixed feelings about progressives like Franklin Delano. On one hand, I'm grateful about his idea. On the other hand, I'm kind of pissed off he sold out to the globalists at the same time. Couldn't we have just gotten the New Deal with Republican? We could have just bullied them. See, this is the problem I have with politics. People don't like to play the game of time anymore. Right? You're poor. You don't have as much cards as the rich guy. The rich guy doesn't have as much cards as the even richer guy. A lot of Americans, they're just impatient. They just want their new gadget now. Right? They just don't think about this shit like 50 years down the road. Right? They're just kicking down their own brain cells like Social Security. I've always known the beauty and the luxury of being a retard. It's fantastic to be a retard. You have no idea how horrible and awful it is to be intelligent. It's not worth it. Tesla's the same. He just opted out. You know, a lot of these samurai you see, like you know the ones that are disciplined and train every day, they die off mysteriously. They don't actually die. They just choose to get abducted by the UFOs and then just pre-choose their death. That's literally what happens. We live in a very efficient capitalist society, so much so that when the UFOs come over, they get the best product. Like, I swear to God, I think like almost all those deaths of the samurai who only train all day, it's all forged and fake news. That's if you believe in the Dead Sea Scrolls and the UFOs. They just abduct them. Let's just make this look normal. They all choose their deaths. Jin from Samurai Champloo, he just chose his death. They all did, dude. They all, like, want to opt out. These people never died. That's the joke about these people. They just ally with the UFOs. So too did Spike, I think. I saw a dream about that. No one wants to talk about it anymore. I used to have a couple friends like, did Spike get abducted by the UFOs? He actually lived. Spike's like, I don't actually like my GF. You know, people have second thoughts. Yeah, it just happens. He did this obligation thing where he's like, well, yeah, I loved you and I was kind of stupid, but I actually want to get with the Faye chick, right? So many things no one wants to talk about. So there was a beer drink, and Spike said, you know what, I will, but I'm going to go make a deal with the UFOs and just leave with her. And she said yes. There's just people who don't say what they mean. It's kind of like midway through the relationship. They understood. That's kind of one of the reasons why, that's not the reason why Cowboy Bebop didn't get a dot ident. The reason why Cowboy Bebop never made any sales units in Japan is because they never did an anime chibi hentai version of it quite yet. See, a lot of these shows could have been cult classics. As 4-Koma comics, could have been better. People don't really like to think with their noggin on these things. You know, you're a film major. You don't like looking into the Asian philosophy of saving money. You don't like looking into Rothbard, right? You're a progressive. You don't really like exploring Rothbard. You'd rather just coast away thinking money is infinite. It's free, right? It's like trees. You just think it's trees. Then everyone else, you think everyone's on the same page, right? Now you can achieve socialism, but you can't. You have to start by not thinking money grows on trees first. So here's the thing about progressives: you can achieve a lot of these things. I was a progressive before I became a Republican. I don't want to be a Republican anymore. There's no more free speech. Like I was like a Republican for like this temporary amount of time because there was free speech for a moment, and I'm like, I'll just go back. You want the First Amendment if you're poor and starting out. You can be a censor guy like once you get big. I intend not to be. I'll try to be authentic as possible before I slow down, and then I start censoring the First Amendment. So you can get more of a monopoly on over everyone else. Now you're not going to be plain about it because the moment you're plain about it, it can't happen. It actually gives everyone like down now a lot of SJWs. I used to play this trick where you just get bought off. That's what you do. You censor stuff so you get bought off and then you stop caring. They do this all the time back then. We used to start death matches just to get a business started. It's just what it is. You don't say what you mean. It's what it is in the hill, right? You gotta play the village idiot as an intelligent person. It gets a lot of attention, a lot of commercial advertising. Some people are just desperate like me. I couldn't make school work out for me. Now I'm the village idiot. That's called a job description. You do this village idiot more before you turn into genuine best friend, right? Or genuine friend. Yeah, you just go and do that. That's what you do to get a job. Right? Or anything, really. Because people don't have anything in mind. Your hairdo is weird, or whatever the fuck it is these days on the job interview. It's not, nothing is real. I don't think anyone's been hiring for a while. I just think about my interactions with my coworkers. Like, are you on food stamps? Are you paid? What happened? I don't think they've been giving people jobs. I don't even know whether my mom gets an actual paycheck. She's kind of lazy. I don't know anything. I'm not going to pretend like I know if people ask me. I'm going to pretend. I really don't know, actually. My mom's giving me no straightforward answer on a paycheck, and I haven't gotten a straightforward answer on some questions like parenting. I don't know. Fuck, I don't even know a straightforward answer on when they move to a new house. Do I know what's up? All I can do is look at paperwork my dad presented, implied social interactions, and then connect the dots, and then hope it works. I really don't think a lot of people think or say what they mean. What they mean half the time. It's kind of like, I will tell you right now, at least with the way the current market is, yeah, it's just a shoot 'em up matchup with at least today's era, there's not enough people who want to start business anymore. So if you're a kid, you're in primary school, you're really better off fighting tooth and nail for a job or starting your own business, because there's really no jobs out there. At least I don't think so. A reality check is there should be a hiring freeze soon, within 50 years. If you have a hiring freeze now, you might be able to get more jobs later, but now the rich can always course correct and start training their employees to start business with like the same salary, right? Now, back then, they used to force people to have volatile roles with the same salary. It was so much worse. And they would give them the same salary while starting a business, but in their hobby, they had to use that money to start a business. That was on their W-2 work farm contract. Yeah, I don't want to give you any more raffle tickets, and I don't want to turn your head. I kind of want you to actually be a free man and start your own business. For me. And I also want you to start a business so I get a government subsidy as a reward. They just did that. Not everyone wants a slave. Actually, a lot of people didn't. No one likes an American slave. They may like a Chinese slave, but no one wants a European slave. They just complain too much. Doesn't matter what political stripe you were, you just didn't want it. Actually, I think I'll just be a Republican and close my pants. You get tired of it after a while. There's just too much dirt on you. I don't know. You may want something cleaner this time around. They both thought that way. Even the feminists were like that. That's like, yeah, I guess your intelligence may, convince them to become your slave, but you don't want it. Stuff people don't want to talk about. Because being a housewife is way easier than working a corporate job. Are you fucking kidding me? Alright, it's these questions we don't want to contemplate. Being a free man is like way harder than being a slave. You have no idea. You gotta run multiple businesses, you gotta save people's ass. As a slave, everything's taken care of for you. No one wants you in serfdom permanently. That's the key here. You gotta think about the contrast. People these days just want to feel good about stuff. They're not really using their big noggin for anything. I think they'll watch for that marble sculpture. No. Now, being independent is tough. And it used to be the parents who were shit used to, help their kids start a lemonade stand and get the most amount of community pity so they can make a living selling lemonade. They couldn't go to school. And this is just the thing I don't like about. Anyways, I'll end it off because I'll talk about this later on Twitter. Anyways.